This is Michael Woodward, and this is Season 2, Episode 78 of the Jumblethink Podcast.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Jumblethink Podcast, where we interview amazing entrepreneurs about their journey of turning ideas and dreams into reality. Along the way, we give you some tips on how you can turn your dreams and ideas into reality too. Today on the podcast, we're talking about focus. Before we get going, I want to encourage you, wherever you like to listen to podcasts, head on over and click that subscribe button. If you like listening on iTunes or Spotify, it's super easy. Jumblethink.com/iTunes or jumblethink.com/Spotify. It will take you right to the app where you can click subscribe. While you're there, leave us a rating and review. Let us know what you think of the Jumblethink Podcast. Now let's jump into today's episode. Hey there, welcome to the Jumblethink Podcast. My name is Michael Woodward. I am your host. Super excited about today's episode. Before we jump into today's topic, I want to thank today's episode sponsor, opportunityinchina.com. Here is a little bit more about them.
At the dawn of the 19th century, forward-thinking people moved to the commercial centers of Europe. Moving into the 20th century, America welcomed millions into the land of freedom and opportunity. It is now the 21st century. Many of the successes and fortunes of our generations will be made in China. To learn how you can seize opportunity in China, follow the Opportunity in China podcast. The Opportunity in China podcast is available anywhere podcasts are streamed, or you can visit our website at opportunityinchina.com.
Today on the podcast, we are talking about focus. I'm super excited about this because I have been thinking more and more about focus. If you are chasing big ideas and dreams, you need focus. Some would even say you need to find hyperfocus. As an entrepreneur, you especially need focus. I don't know about you, but it seems that every day the noise of life is getting louder and clarity, true focus, is harder to find. We live in an age of 24/7 news with all the cable news networks, constant connection by the internet and through our social media channels. Our lives are dictated by text, immediate connection by phone, constant feeds of data about our friends, what they're doing, and often how we don't measure up. We watch for the latest celebrity, our favorite TV show. We try to stay connected to this world, which has so much coming towards us, and we get buried by it. We lose ourselves. We lose our ideas. We lose our dreams. We lose that focus to move us forward. Now, when I was a kid back in the 80s and 90s, life was different. I know. I just said when I was a kid, all of our grandparents said it, our parents said it. But if you really think about it, from the 80s and 90s, so much has radically changed. The internet's become what it has. Computers have connected us in different ways. The amount of content being created and being able to connect to that content is exploded. Back in the 80s and 90s, we played outside. We got super bored. We had nothing to do. If we were watching TV, it might be network news or Jeopardy or TGIF. If we played sports, we weren't going every day a week. We were playing maybe 1 or 2 days a week and never on like a Sunday. And the connections we had back then, they were completely different, more tangible, more real, and intimate in a way that we can't do through the internet. But these things have changed, and society has changed. The demands of life are different. Maybe we were just naive back then, but I think it has to do with a deep change in our society, a change that we have the choice to either engage with or say, you know what, I'm going to choose a different way. I'm not saying any of those things are bad. What I am saying is that most of us aren't being responsible. We're not thinking about what we can do. All this noise, these responsibilities, these expectations, they pull us in a million directions. It clutters our thinking, tells us what to think, how we measure up or how we don't measure up. It's the ultimate story of keeping up with the Joneses. And it keeps us running at a pace that makes life impossible. We're constantly tired. We lack the resources often to just relax because we are so overwhelmed by life. We have lost our focus, lost our moral compass, lost our voice, all because we've let the noise dictate our every move. Can you feel it? Do you feel it? Do you see it? I know for me, it makes me feel like we live in an impossible world, an overwhelming world. But what happens when we lock the noise out, when we start to focus? What happens when we choose to live on our terms, create a new path, create our path, and make what's impossible possible? Let's step back for a minute. I always like in these topical episodes where we're talking about a word to define the word. So let's define the word focus. It comes from Mirriam-Webster today. I love these definitions. Focus is a center of activity, attraction, or attention. Focus is a point of concentration to cause to be concentrated. Focus is directed attention to bring us into focus. Focus is a state or condition permitting clear perception or understanding. Focus is the adjustment for distinct vision. Focus is your focal length, how far you can see. Focus is a point in which the rays of light or heat or sound converge. Focus is a point of convergence of particles where they come together and everything joins. Focus is the place of origin of an earthquake or a moonquake. Focus is so much. I love some of these definitions because focus, a distinct vision. Do you have a vision for your life? Do you have direction for your life? Do you have that dream and idea, that purpose, that created purpose in which you live? I love that idea of light and where it converges and comes together. Do you feel like your path forward is illuminated, or do you feel like you're just kind of going through life trying to survive or find your way through that darkness? I love that focus brings clear perception and understanding. Focus is massively important to the journey of making dreams and ideas become reality. The only way to get focus is to be intentional. It can be hard to do. It's going to cost you something, but I can guarantee it's worth it if you really believe in what you're doing and you're creating is the right thing. Let's talk about some steps that you can take right now to find more focus. First off, you have to be intentional about turning off the noise. It's time to turn off the devices, stop watching the TV, checking news every 2 minutes, spending hours on your social media channels and through those wonderful feeds. It's time to untether from the distractions and find your voice, your ideas, your path forward. It's not bad to be informed or to be entertained, but for many of us, we're finding that it's stealing our life by stealing our time, stealing those ideas. Not only do you find more clarity, but you will find time simply by disconnecting from the noise. Number 2, be selective in who and what you connect with. Curate your content. Many of the messages today are stealing our own identities and beliefs from us. Many of these messages and people are often well-intentioned, or sometimes they're not, but they aren't building you up. They're building up their movement, their message, their ideas, their dreams, and encouraging you to push into your dreams is not on their agenda. And they begin to steal from you, steal what you were created to do. So what you're consuming, who is impacting you, the voices you're listening to, all of these things will impact the dreams and ideas, and how you can focus on it. Is what you're consuming encouraging you, causing you to grow, driving you to your dreams and destiny, to making those ideas a reality? Number 3, to find more focus, nerd out. Nerding out sounds kind of silly, but when you focus and you geek out on what you're doing and what you're learning, it might drive others around you crazy, but it will drive you to making things happen. When you focus on the tasks at hand and you go down the rabbit hole, it will cause you to learn. Consume as much as you can about the topic, about your dream, about your destiny. Explore, discover, have fun. You will grow. It will cause you to rethink. It will cause you to create your thoughts, your path. And you'll see these new ideas, these paths forwards, and they will cause you to understand and begin to see the light illuminate those dreams ahead of you. Number 4, be selective in what you do. There are a million organizations you can be a part of, programs, activities, things you can do. Many of them you might even love. But you need to sacrifice being busy and doing things with choosing the right things for you to make your dreams and ideas a reality. Focus is a choice, and sometimes the choice is hard to do. Focus on the idea and the ideas of doing things that move your dreams and ideas forward. Number 5, take time to be with ideas instead of doing. Often we feel like we're not making our dreams and ideas happen because we're not doing, but often you need to sit and get quiet and listen to the process of what you've learned, what you've experienced, how it's impacted you, and then begin to make those shifts and changes. If we're always pushing into doing and we're not stopping to think, then our ideas, those dreams, those things that we're creating can never mature. They can never grow into what they're supposed to be. The process is so important that you stop and reflect. Slow down so that you can learn and focus. Reflect, learn, evolve, and make those dreams and ideas something worth achieving. And then keep moving forward. Ultimately, living a life of focus is your choice. The world around you will typically keep you from your destiny. It will not encourage your dreams nor your ideas. It will give you someone else to listen to, clutter your life with busyness, steal from your dreams and ideas. You have a choice to create focus in your life, to move forward and make those dreams and ideas a reality. So today I have a simple question. What if the life you're living could be different? What if your dreams could happen? What would it look like if you started to step into the things you were created to do? What if the noise of the world is holding you back, and by cutting that out, you'll see more fulfillment in your family? You'll see others impacted through the messages you share. The products you create will impact people on such a deep level that it will change their life. What if the things you're creating, the world is waiting for? What if by making subtle changes, creating a new focus, you begin to create a world where the change, that message, changes the world and brings new hope, brings healing? See, the what if only happens if you begin to engage with focus and moving forward. Being a dreamer, having ideas, making those a reality is difficult to do. And I say this over and over and over again. The world needs you. We need you. We need people who have a vision for a future that's not based on agenda, not based on what the world tells us to do, not based on what politics is informing us, not telling us what to believe, but when we know ourselves and we step into that place of focus, we begin to create a new message, a new narrative. And that narrative will begin to light a fire with others, and their lives will be changed. The world has enough of people who are living compromised lives. It's time for you to make a choice. Will you live in a life of focus where those dreams, those ideas become reality because you've taken the choice to move forward? Well, today I want to encourage you, take a moment to reflect. Take a moment to think about the focus that you need. Think about those dreams and ideas. Think about what they could be. And then begin to think about how you can move your life, how you can close out the noise and find your focus so you can make dreams and ideas a reality. We believe you were created for something special. So go out there today and start that journey of changing the world around you. I want to thank you for tuning into today's episode. I hope it's encouraged you on your journey chasing your own big ideas and dreams. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to thank today's sponsor, opportunityinchina.com. Have you been looking for a way to change your career or social prospects? Do you see the world around you changing and haven't quite figured out what path to take. Well, you're not alone in seeking opportunity. Visit opportunityinchina.com for access to scholarships to attend university in China, or if you have a bachelor's degree already, opportunityinchina.com provides access to jobs in the educational sector all across China. Working in China is not only often well paid, but it will place you among 1/5 of the world's population, boosting your social network, bringing you more deeply into the story of globalization, opening doors you never knew existed. Now seize your opportunity today. Visit their website for more information at opportunityinchina.com. By the way, they have a great podcast too. All you have to do is search for Opportunity in China Podcast on your favorite app or place to listen to podcasts. Thanks again to opportunityinchina.com for sponsoring our podcast in today's episode. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to bring it right back to focus. Where do you need to focus? What do you need to do? Now get out there. Begin to chase those dreams and ideas with a focused intent and change the world around you.
Vous êtes une autre personne. Les mères de famille, les enfants, peuvent également prendre un moment revitalisant. Dans quelques mois, lorsque vous aurez bien saisi la technique et que vous serez maître de votre corps, vous pourrez vous décontracter même en travaillant.